What do you want? You want the moon?
I think I finally know what I want to do with my life. I'm going to join the entertainment industry.
Abby, everybody knows you can't make any money with an arts degree.
But won't it make me happy?
Money can make you happy.
That's right, boys and girls. At Skitbags Radio, money can buy you happiness that creativity can't. We always talk to the best in Hollywood and entertainment who are going to show you how to buy the happiness you deserve. Always on Dash Talk X. And you better buckle up, saddle in, take your phone off the hook because we got a brand new ball game. Let's go.
All aboard!
Hello? Has anyone seen... Hello? Has anyone seen... Looking for Skitbags Radio. Skitbags Radio. Skitbags! I don't know where that explosion came from, but what up? It's Skitbags Radio.
That was our fabulous Will doing a fabulous intro on the mic in the absence of Carl and Devin, who are at Clusterfest this weekend.
Killing it at Clusterfest,
representing,
dude.
doing all
some of their shit?
Getting all the hot interviews. We got you see they were with Sinbad.
I fucking love Sinbad.
The legend.
So jelly. I almost went with them. I was like this close to going with them, and then I was like, but if I go, we definitely can't have a show on Sunday.
I mean, it never really mattered to me. I was never going to go, but we're doing it anyway. We're sitting here with Ginny Dominguez.
Woo! Ginny Dominguez, awesome director. Thanks for
Children's
joining us.
television show director extraordinaire, and just a great director in general and a great person.
Oh,
Yes.
Ginny, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I mean, I had like a rough night last night, but you know.
Tell us
What
about
happened?
this rough night.
I just went out and I drank one beer, and I'm at that point where it's like that one beer, like, get my hangover 2 hours later.
No.
Was it the one beer that night, or was it a build up throughout the day?
It was a build up throughout the day for sure.
Okay.
You were there.
You were there?
You were there.
It's like he's like,
You
turn
were-
off the
I'm just playing real
You
coy.
were there for the beginning part of my day.
Here, put your mic up a little bit so we can hear you better. Perfect.
So
J-Bug.
yesterday you were drinking throughout the day, and then you went to like a nighttime one beer.
Yeah.
What were you drinking throughout the day? What's your favorite drink to drink, actually?
My favorite drink to drink is
Yeah.
probably mezcal right now.
Oh, mezcal.
Yeah.
I was
Juicy.
telling Ginny before the show started that you are the host of the wildly popular show, The Mix and Serve.
It's actually it's pretty popular.
It is
now.
growing. It's growing. And
Yeah.
I was telling her how you guys do a different cocktail every show, and it's like normal news, but all the hosts are drunk.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's like the whole idea was make news palatable again. So we try to drink our way through it. But I asked because
I know it's like everything's so depressing. Like you gotta drink every time. Like it's like children in cages take a shot.
Yeah, it's like, dude, every time that the children in cages situation reminds you of the Holocaust, like take a drink. Like we'd all be pretty fucking wasted, you know.
Damn.
Yeah.
That wasn't technically a Holocaust joke. That was a children internment camp joke.
Yeah,
So.
and those are the times we're living in.
Get it fucking
Get
straight.
it right.
The times we're living in cannot be avoided.
Yeah, dude.
That's basically it.
It's nuts, but that's cool. Mezcal, I love mezcal. Is there like a mezcal cocktail you like to drink? You ever had a mezcal mule?
Yeah.
Those are good.
It's good,
Those are-
right?
those
I think
are
it's
really
better than
good.
the regular Moscow.
I think it is also. Yeah, I think it's better than even a Mexican mule with just regular tequila.
Yeah.
That
See,
smokiness, you can't
yeah.
beat it.
I used to
I
love
agree.
tequila, but tequila, it's too much for me now.
Really?
Too much. Like, it's
Where are you from?
Indiana.
You're from Indiana?
Yeah.
The state.
The state.
What
That's
part?
That's one of the few states that I forget about.
Hey,
Is the state.
that's
Why?
okay. Well, technically, there's more people in this city than there are in the state of Indiana.
Really?
I didn't know that.
LA has
I
more
didn't know
people in
that.
it than the whole state of Indiana has in it.
That's wild, yeah. I didn't know that.
That's a
We're
fun
not
fact.
trying to shit on your state. We're just saying it is what it is.
It's okay. No, it's okay. Here, listen. Like, so I'm from Indiana. Tom's from Indiana too, but he's from like Central, right?
No, I'm from the south. I'm on the Mason-Dixon
He's-
line.
okay,
It's
he's
a
from
real
the
weird
south.
place down there.
I'm from like Northwest Indiana, which is like closer to Chicago
Yeah,
than
like the Gary,
Yeah.
Munster, yeah.
Gary, Munster, Hammond. I'm from Hammond, but
Okay.
it feel like all our sports team. Like, I didn't know about the Pacers.
Yeah, I grew up in a Bulls household, Bulls and Cubs,
Yeah.
because that's where all my family's
Well,
from.
Bulls and White Sox.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
Whatever.
All right, we're getting to a thing here.
Southsider.
Cubs versus White Sox. It's going down on Skitbags Radio.
Wrigley the Cubs have a the stadium.
It doesn't
You gotta go
matter.
with that.
Yo, like the beef was getting serious. I was like joking, and they were like, "Yeah, but like seriously, they're the fucking Cubs, bro. What's up?"
Whatever, South Side. I live closer to the South Side, so whatever.
That's
Okay.
dope. So how long have you been in LA then?
Oh, it's gonna be like 5 years
Wow, that's not too
in
bad.
August.
Are you sure? I just had my 5 year, but you've been out here longer than I have.
Probably 6.
Probably closer to 6 years.
Yeah.
It's getting to that
Okay,
point.
word.
It's kind of blending all together.
It is,
Word.
yeah.
So at 5 years, do you feel like they usually say like, it takes like 5 years to feel like a LA
A local,
citizen. You know what I
an
mean? Like,
Angelino.
Yeah.
Do you feel like,
I mean, I feel like there are definitely parts of the city that I want to explore that I haven't.
Yeah.
But I definitely know that I'm probably not gonna go back and live in Indiana. Like I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, mom, dad, like you should just like move out here, move to California,
Yeah.
because like I'm not gonna move back there. Like it's
Yeah.
cold. There's nothing for me to do there. Like it's kind of boring.
It is cold.
super
huh?
boring.
I can't
Like-
get down with the cold.
But it gets
can't get
it
it.
gets awkwardly very hot in southern Indiana.
Really?
Humid and hot.
Humid.
It gets like
and it's the worst for your
it
hair.
in
can
the
get up to like
summertime?
105.
In the summertime? That's pretty gross.
Mosquitoes.
Super gross.
Ugh.
Wow. I can't wait to see
Sticky.
what like
It's
their
sticky.
summer's going to be like this summer.
So everybody I know from Indiana that has come out here or to Chicago or to New York or Miami or even Seattle, I always ask, what's the number that would get you back to Indiana?
Like the money, like the dollar amount number?
What would that salary have to be to get you to go back to Hammond or to Evansville?
I'd
or to South
rather
Bend?
be poor and like homeless and live in LA than to go back. And I'm not hating. Like Indiana's a very like it's definitely like if I want to like I eventually do want to have like a family and like have that.
Right.
But like Indiana's the perfect place. Like you have backyard, front yard, dog,
Really?
join
You'd
the PTA.
have your family in Indiana?
Like if I would if I had to, but at the same time like I don't have to, so like I don't want to even think that. It's
Right.
not even an option.
Right.
Like I'd rather
Right.
be like a homeless I'd rather have my family in like a homeless like built tent.
Well, I
Okay.
figure
Or something.
I figure like with the way your career is, shit, you probably have your family here, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
guys would obviously live in LA. I mean, somewhere in.
Also,
probably
I
in
feel
LA
like
somewhere.
like kids, they will probably have a better education here.
Absolutely.
There's more diversity.
I actually
yeah,
teach
yeah,
as a
yeah.
part of the. I teach in the after school program for LAUSD, so
That's awesome.
as
Yeah.
long as I'm not teaching your kids, they'll be fine.
The schools here are good. I mean, I feel like the quality of education is so different between here and Indiana because Indiana you get a certain picture. They give you the story the with the Indiana, tinge to it. Whereas here in Los Angeles, the education system's a lot more diversified.
Yeah.
And you would actually probably learn about Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Whereas in
Yeah,
Indiana,
yeah.
I didn't have no, I didn't know that existed.
I didn't know that was a thing
Nobody
until this
knows
year.
that exists in
I didn't know
Indiana.
that was a thing until the beginning of
Yeah.
this month.
Happy belated Juneteenth from us here at
That's
Skitbags
right,
Radio.
that's right.
Hey.
But I
Honestly, that's real. You made a very good point, dude. Because I was thinking about that on Juneteenth. I was like, damn, I feel like a lot of my friends are actually, like allies, quote unquote, like real dope motherfuckers that are like, yo, we're down with, Black Lives and whatever. But so many of them have no idea that Juneteenth exists.
Yeah.
So many of them never even heard of Emmett Till. Like when I went to college,
Now
like,
that's crazy.
it's crazy. But a bunch of my friends when I went to college, this was in like 2009. Like a bunch of them did not know who Emmett Till was at all.
Really?
Like I told them this crazy story about I went to go see this movie. We got to talk about movies also. Talk about your shit also because that's what we're supposed to be doing. on
We'll
the
get
show.
there. We'll get there.
But when I was a kid in high school, my mom was a bouncer at a strip club, Magic City.
Okay.
So but all my friends in high school knew that. So my mom was considered like I was an actor student, same as everybody. But like everybody knew my mom was like Miss Smith, like Tracy is like, "Arr," you know what I'm saying? So
A fun fact: I was a bouncer in my college
Word?
bar.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
Where?
Dunkirk.
No. Oh, I think I remember that.
Dunkirk.
Actually, yeah.
I was a bouncer.
That's
She's telling-
dope.
she's
I love
telling the truth.
bouncers. I'm way too skinny, but if I wasn't, I would definitely be about that life. But so we went to go. So I was doing this play with a bunch of other black dudes at high school, and we went to go see the like Emmett Till documentary that had just come out at the time, and I was like 15 or 16. And the movie was rated NC-17. It's a documentary about Emmett Till, but it's rated NC-17.
It's a little weird.
It is weird, right? It's very weird. So nobody, of
intense.
course, thought that when they sent all these black kids to go see Emmett Till, and like they, pay for us to go or whatever. So we get there and they wouldn't let me in, and I like call my mom like, "Hey, can you come pick me up?" They're not letting me see Emmett Till. She flipped the shit, bro. She called the news. And she drove up to the movie theater, and like me and all my friends are waiting outside because they weren't going to go in without me. We're waiting outside. My mom pulls up, and she's from South Central, so she pulls up like LA style, just like whips her fucking car into the parking spot, jumps out before it's even like fully stopped, slams the door, is on the phone with the news like, get y'all ass down here because it's about to go down. I was like, what? But I don't even remember why I brought that up. But
No,
yeah.
we're talking about people don't know what Emmett Till is. And then this, why was it rated NC-17?
So that story I told my college friends, and I guess it was rated NC-17 because of
there's like some graphic images.
Yeah, the images of him.
That's
were
our
graphic.
that's our material, and it's historical.
Yeah,
people need to see it.
That's what I'm saying. Like people have to see it, and that's why they brought the news up there. My mom, like they convinced the news real easy. The news was like, "What? They're not letting little black kids see Emmett Till? That's crazy."
Yeah.
And this was in Atlanta, you know. That's like a shit. At the time, we had a black woman mayor, so
Damn.
yeah,
Really?
they were really fucking up. And it was at fucking Magic Johnson movie theaters, so you know.
Oh, really?
It was like shit. If this
That's
gets too high,
super
and
weird
Magic
that they
find
would.
out,
Yeah.
He's not
there's a lot. A lot
Yeah.
of people got shot at that movie theater. Fun fact.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, that's another. I mean, there's a lot of damn shames all over this story.
a lot of shames, but yeah, no. So yeah, I was just so interested that none of my friends had known anything about Emmett Till.
Yeah.
Wait, so you haven't seen any movies recently?
I haven't seen any movies recently.
I think the last one I might have saw might have been Aladdin.
I saw a really shitty like bootleg version.
You saw shitty bootleg? You watched the bootleg?
I need to see it in theaters. I'm gonna see
Wait,
it.
how do
You
you
do,
feel?
you
Okay,
do.
wait, that's a good question. How do you feel about bootlegs?
Man, it's hard because like, you know, I've watched a lot of bootlegs. I have. You know, I got the Amazon Fire Stick, and like I
Oh
have,
yeah,
like,
I do a lot of
I
bootlegs
have
too.
the bootleg on there too. Just cause it's more so of a time thing. It's like I wish I had more time to go see a lot more movies. And I
Yeah.
also, it's two things. It's the time, and I also need to like be more proactive about going to do that. But you know, it's just more convenient if I'm at home and it's like on there and like it's not released.
Fire
like,
Stick, is that okay?
Fire Stick.
My mom keeps telling me to get that. I don't
It's
understand.
I love it. I love it way better than the Apple TV.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I've got the Apple TV 3.
I don't
I didn't
have
know
that
there was
one.
more than one.
Love it. Well, they just released the 4. I guess the only difference is it has 4K.
Yeah.
So who gives a shit? But
Here's the thing, though.
Apple does. They're trying to get that money.
I know they are.
I totally get it. You know, pay for the movie you see, support it, support the people that work for it.
Yeah, right.
But also, some people don't have access. They don't have the money to go see a movie, but they want to work and
Right.
they want to learn. So
And for
it's
some
like,
of these indie movies that are coming out, if you don't have a Netflix or a Hulu or an Amazon
Yeah.
or something, or you can't afford it, or you have no idea where to find it, and you're a fan,
I mean,
sometimes that's the only option.
Yeah.
also like I work at this place called Brat, and all of our content is free. It's free for everyone to watch. So it's
Word.
like, I mean,
Wait, tell us
It's
about
on
this.
YouTube.
So what-
Hold on,
what-
we'll come back to that. How did you? What made you want to come out here from Indiana and get started in entertainment?
Good question.
directing. I've always wanted to direct since like the 6th grade.
Yeah, that's wild.
You know, I grew up in Haven, Indiana, which again is like 30 to 45 minutes away from downtown Chicago.
Okay.
It wasn't like the best area, you know, like it was kind of ghetto. Growing up, I never really, you know, everyone is always like, okay, I'm gonna get a job at the steel mill. Okay, like I'm gonna go to the community college. I'm gonna be like a nurse, or I'm gonna be a dental hygienist. Like everyone like had those type of jobs like in mind or in line, or like a lot of people got pregnant like in high school. Like that was like the normal. Like no one in my high school was ever like, I want to go away to like college. Like I want to go be like a chef. Like no one had any like aspirational dreams of being some type of artist or like being creative.
Yeah.
So like I never really felt like I connected with anyone around me. Like yeah, like I have my homies and my best friends that I have from high school, but like I never like no one from my high school went to college with me. So like that in itself, going to college is super scary.
I can relate to that as well. Like,
Yeah.
Only like 6 kids in my whole class left town to go to college elsewhere, and like 4 or 5 of them went to IU.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's wild.
Damn.
But I just like I remember like, you know, like I wasn't like a loner, but I didn't have anyone to talk to about like, oh, like I really like this movie. Like, oh, like I never had anyone to talk to about it. So I just remember like, you know, my dad would always he would travel for work, and my mom worked like night shifts. So I would just be watching like Nick at Night. I would just watch TV. Like I never had babysitters. I just like watched TV and movies and like when you're in middle school, there are only like two things you can do like socially. It's either go to the mall or go to the movies.
Right. Facts.
And those are also the two places where you wear your nice shoes.
Oh, your nice shoes?
Your
Yeah.
nice shoes.
When you're in middle school,
when you get the new pair of K-Swiss.
Yeah.
Or Adidas.
Absolutely.
You only wear them, or J's, you only wear them to the mall or to the movies. You don't wear them anywhere else. You don't go outside. You don't wear them anywhere else. Just those two
That was a throwback. I hadn't thought about K-Swiss in like 10 years.
Yeah, K-Swiss is a middle school throwback. For
Yeah,
sure.
it's a middle school throwback. I think
Yeah.
that. That's fire. Was there like something specifically that that spoke to you when you were younger that like made you say like, this is, I want to be a director? You know what I mean? Like, was there something like a big aha moment? Like, wow.
I think it was just like, I just enjoyed watching TV. I enjoyed watching TV, watching movies. And then one day I was like, I like the idea of like, you know, I don't necessarily like love my surroundings, but like I like the idea with TV. Like I had no notion of what directors do or what producers do. I just like Hollywood movies, like director, like that, like those aligned. And I just remember one day, like I think I was like watching Saved by the Bell or like Boy Meets World on Nick at Night.
Relatable.
And I was just like, you know what? Like I want to build my own world. Like I want to be able to control these things. Like I don't like what's in my realm, so I want to go to a different. I just want to go somewhere else.
That's so cool. I've never heard that from
Needed to surround yourself with similarly minded people.
Yeah. I mean, but I didn't know that. I just knew that like, okay, again, my high school, no one was motivated to like go to do something grand or like go to college. It was either like go to community college. So like, I mean, big shout out to like my stepmom, because she's like the one that's like, no, you're gonna go to college. Like you're not gonna stay here. You know, like you're gonna go away. Like you're not gonna go out of state because we can't afford that.
Right.
But like you're gonna go to like college. Like like if it wasn't for her like forcing me, like I mean, yes, like I owe her a lot because of that.
Dope.
But like, I also think that this is gonna sound real, maybe corny, cheesy, lame.
I love that shit.
You ever watched The OC?
Nice.
Yeah, I've heard of that show.
Okay.
I've actually never seen it.
Oh,
though.
no.
It's actually, you don't need to watch season 2, 3, or 4, but season 1's pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
That's why I should
everything
watch it.
outside
Yeah.
of season 1 is highly skippable.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
good.
thing about season 1 is that it was the first show that I watched like religiously. Like,
Same.
came home after school and was like, okay, like right after school, I got like every Thursday I'm gonna watch the OC, and I watched it from episode 1. And episode 1 was completely different than the rest, because episode 1, the start off is like this brother and these two brothers,
it's
and
like
they're
a
like
crime
opening.
story.
Yeah, it feels different than
Yeah.
the rest of the show. And then as soon as like, oh, like this kid was in a really Ryan Atwood, he was in a really shitty town, really like kind of shitty parents, really like shitty situation.
Ben McKenzie.
Ben McKenzie. And then he gets like picked up and he goes to like the OC, which is like beautiful, like palm trees. And I just remember one day I was like, I feel like Ben McKenzie, Ryan Atwood from the OC, and I want to go to those palm trees. So I'm going to move to California.
That's hilarious.
Like,
Get saved by a
that's
white,
right.
a
OC
family
is
of white
about out
people.
here. I
yeah.
forgot about that.
Well, I think the biggest factor is like, okay,
Yeah.
like I knew that I wanted to work in TV or film, and there's only like, it's either go 30, 40 minutes, go to Chicago, like be real close to home.
The prospects in Chicago
Or-
aren't as great.
They're not,
also.
but it's also too close to home. For me, it's like I don't want to be that close.
For me, it was New York or LA, and LA won out.
Well, it was Chicago, New York, or LA, and for me, it's like New York feels too much like Chicago. They're both very different, but they're both like cities.
And
LA,
cold.
yeah, and cold, and I hate the cold.
I fucking hate the
And
cold.
Yeah.
California is just beautiful, and I was like, I want to be where the palm trees are at.
You look like, actually, to me, that's why I asked when I first asked. I shit, if you told me you was from California, I would believe it. You got like the fucking, the tan, the look. You look fucking like you.
I was meant to be here.
Weather-wise, yeah, like you're meant to be here. Yeah, you got like that SoCal glow about you.
Throughout college, I would always have people like ask me like, oh, like, are you from California? Like, and like I
Right?
Maybe it was the California flat bill that she always wore.
California flat bill, but it was always like I want to get here. There was no like, going to college, and like my father, he's from Mexico, so he is an immigrant. And when I was going to college, he was super proud. But when I told him what I wanted to do, he's like, "No, you're going to be a doctor. You're going to be a teacher. You're going to be like something that's very like structured and what he understands." So like
A sure thing.
a sure
sure
thing.
quote unquote.
So him just like, okay, like no, like you're not gonna do all these things. I'm like, I don't like, Dad, I'm sorry, like, but I don't know what else. This is what I want to do. Like, I don't care about, like, I'm not gonna be a good doctor if I don't care about being a good doctor.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna be a good like lawyer if I don't care about it. Like, and I think now, like, he totally gets it. He's totally on board because like I've done it.
Yeah.
But I think before, like, it took him a while to get to like.
Does he like? Have you ever like brought that up to him? And does he be like, no, I've always supported you. My mom does that shit. Like she was the same way. She really wanted me to be a basketball player because she knew I would be taller.
Really?
Yeah. Then I started smoking cigarettes. To be sure, I stayed 6'3".
You know, I don't think it's never been like that. I think for him, as long as I have like a steady job, he's like, you can do that on the side as long as you have something that's gonna pay your bills.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. Like, and for me, it's like he can't even, like, he's not mad at me now. Like, he's like proud, but it's like he can't complain about it as long as I'm like still on top of my shit. Like if I was like out in the streets, like having to call him up like every month, like, dude, like, Dad, like, please help me with rent,
money, yeah.
Like, then he would give me shit about it. But like I never did that, so it's like,
yeah, you handle your shit.
Yeah.
What were your what are some of your worst? What's one of your worst and one of your favorite survival jobs that you've had to do?
Oof.
Because I know there's a lot of people that tune in that want to get into the business and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's so many different. I've talked to a lot of people.
I mean,
about
one of the super popular ones that most of the people I know go to is babysitting.
Really?
Especially around here.
Babysitting.
Yeah.
I didn't do babysitting.
A lot of rich parents.
I was never a babysitter, and I was never like a waitress.
What'd you do?
This is when I first moved out here. I moved to Sherman Oaks with some like college buddies.
Okay.
Quickly, like 3 months after that, ran out of money.
Okay.
Like, couldn't find a job. I didn't have an in like to be a PA anywhere. Like I didn't have a friend of a friend who could hook me up with like a
That's the way the city works.
So,
common theme coming from Indiana.
So I got a job at the mall at a Fossil. So I sold watches and I sold like whatever handbags they had there. So I lived in Sherman Oaks. 3 months later, ran out of money. I still had like this Fossil job. I had to move out because no money to pay rent. I like hit up my dad. He's like, okay, you have an aunt and uncle that live in Compton. They will let you live there. But you just gotta find a job. Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, yeah, Dad, I have a job. I work at Fossil. He's like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I get it. So like, for like a year, I moved to Compton with my aunt and uncle. I love them. But I never met them beforehand.
Yeah.
So I'm there, and like they were just so kind to like let me live there. And I still had my job in Sherman Oaks. And so part of me was just like, okay, like I live in Compton, but like I'm not gonna hang out around here. I'm not gonna go out. I'm not gonna like start getting comfortable here.
Right.
So like that job of going to Fossil, like it didn't necessarily pay enough, but it forced me to like, if I gotta go to work, I'm gonna get out of here, out of this town.
Yeah.
To keep constantly going elsewhere, to keep meeting up with my friends who live in the Valley or who live in like Hollywood or WeHo.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not gonna get comfortable here. And then while I was at Fossil, I had a friend who had interned at Verve, which is an agency.
Okay.
And then they got me an internship. So I interned for free for 6 months while I had like my dinky like Fossil job. And then eventually I got bumped up to like an assistant. So then I quit my dinky like Fossil job. And then I was on a TV lit desk, doing that whole agency life for a hot second.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be an agent, but I think in retrospect, I was so upset that I was put on a TV lit desk instead of like a motion picture desk. But like right now, I'm so happy that it turned out that way because like I essentially work for like a TV network.
Yeah.
It's just on the internet.
Yeah.
But it's TV. So I think doing that job, it kind of gave me a lot of insight that
That's a pretty good survival job.
Now. Yeah.
I definitely also, I was talking to some, I think it was an actor recently about just his life, and he was feeling like, oh, LA's this and all that, LA's difficult and all that. I'm like, dude, this guy was still relatively new to LA.
Yeah.
Like maybe been here a year. I was like, it takes time to like find like that right survival job that's still in your field. You know what I mean? Like for me
Yeah.
now, you know, almost 4 years in, like I knew it was teaching kids, but I hadn't taught kids since I left New York.
Yeah.
But now it's like back to teaching kids acting. I'm like, shit, this is a great survival job. You know, still working in the industry.
And you still learn something from it.
Yeah,
like even
every
though
time.
it's not like exactly like what you want to do,
Yeah.
you still have to like, okay, what am I going to get out of this? It's
Yeah.
still in
think
the
I-
industry, but
Yeah, I think I learned a lot more about myself from my students than about the craft. But
Right. Kids tend to-
kindergartners will fucking
yeah.
tell you about yourself real fast.
I totally get that.
So tell us about this network. I want to know
How'd you get into this?
what exactly is it?
Okay, so
How'd you get into it?
it's called Brat, and it's on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, but it feels very much like a studio network production company all at once. You know, it's like the old school like model. in a
And how
way.
old is Brat? How long has it been around?
It's been around for about a year and a half officially.
Okay.
Really?
Year and a half.
Younger than I thought.
It's younger. I mean, it's been around longer, but I think by me saying officially, like I think it at a certain point it was like a startup, and then it became like, okay, like this is the
Okay.
official moment.
So it took maybe a couple years for them to pick up the steam, and then they
Yeah.
became the network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so basically I want to say like 2 years ago is when I first started working for them. And it was like a startup, you know, like they had a whole bunch of teen YA young adult like content, and it felt like they were just making a whole bunch of different type of things and seeing what stuck. So I had a few college friends who got their like show picked up by them.
Oh, nice.
And they asked me to come like be like their like AD, like their first AD. And at this point, like I had quit the agency. I didn't have like a dinky fossil job. I was just kind of doing like random PA work. I did like set PA. I did like wardrobe PA. I did like art department PA. Just like a whole bunch of random PA gigs. And then they hit me up like, "Do you want to be our first AD?" And I was like, "You know what? Like I've never done it before, but like I'm totally down to do it."
Which is rare
Yeah.
to be asked to just
Yeah.
AD.
Yeah.
But I think it's because they were like my homies from school, and
Of
they're
course.
like they knew that I'd never done it before, but like I mean they also never had a show get picked up and have like a real true like budget to make something. So I think it was kind of like all right,
It was a who you know situation.
yeah, it was who you know, like let's do this together. So I AD'd for that show for Brat, and then Brat itself kept calling me back to like AD for more and more shows. I'm like, okay, cool, like they like me. And then I just kept getting called back to do more and more shows. And then at one point they took me off this one show to put me on the show called Chicken Girls, which I was just like, okay, like very interesting title, but okay, cool, like let's do it.
Chicken Girls.
Chicken Girls.
Chicken girl.
Chicken Girls. But
That's
then
fun to say though.
it is fun to say, but this Chicken Girls show is like the one that like blew up.
Yeah.
Like it's the one that like it gets. I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but I've been told by like my boss and that it gets the same amount of viewership as like Grey's Anatomy.
Oh wow.
So
But it's all on
Yeah.
YouTube.
it's on YouTube.
So
and
but doesn't that tell you the count on it?
it does. It tells you the count. On
But
it.
that's like lower than it actually.
I wouldn't say it's lower than it actually is. I think I mean, I don't know how much viewership Grey's Anatomy gets, but it gets a lot. I mean, our show like they have like
Shit, Grey's Anatomy is one of the longest running shows on television.
if you go back and like look at like our views, like those show has like it has like 2 million views, you know,
Right.
and it's all online, and it's all geared towards like I want to say like it's YA, so like 12 to like 24 is probably like the age range, you know, of our viewers. But yeah, they just kept calling me back. I did Chicken Girls, and it blew up, and you know, I just continuously kept working with them on the shows, and it's really nice seeing a startup company like grow.
Yeah.
Because it makes me feel really like I feel a part of it. I feel like I truly understand the ins and out of it because like I've been there since the beginning. But yeah, so I AD'd about like I have like about 17 or 20 shows that I AD'd for them.
Wow.
And they kept calling me back, and at a certain point they're like, okay, we're just gonna give you a full-time job, like if you want it. And to me that was wild because like I've never heard of anyone giving like a first AD like a full-time job.
Yeah.
And it felt good because like okay, cool, because like I don't have to worry about my next paycheck. Like I know
Yeah,
that I have
right.
like a set salary, and I'm gonna be like I have work. And there's even more so than like getting like paid to do work, that like staying busy, like as a freelancer, like always struggling to find your next job, like that's stressful. It's also stressful, like not being able to take a break, because it's like once you have a good momentum, you don't want to lose your momentum of like getting like work.
Yeah.
But like, I think what I like is that like, okay, like I'm not stressing about it. Like I'll have a week off and then like, okay, cool. Like I get time to decompress and not like worry or stress about like jumping onto the next thing because I have to, you know?
Yeah.
But so I DJ'd for a lot of their shows, and within like my time there, they got a studio, they got a corporate office. Like we just moved into like our big like headquarters office, which is like, again, like it's really amazing being able to like see it from where it started to where it's at now.
Yeah.
But so there's a show called Manny that came up. It's season 4. And my boss was looking for like a director for it, and I was like, hey, like, you know, like I want to direct. I think this could be like a really good opportunity for me to like start doing that.
Yeah.
You know, and like she talked it over with like, you know, higher ups, and I got to direct it.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Season 4?
Season 4.
4 of Manny?
Season
and
4.
what's Manny about?
Manny is about a male nanny.
Oh.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay.
Male nanny, and he is very childlike, and the kid he nannies, he was a nanny to one of the kids, and then he became like the substitute teacher to the classroom. Okay,
nice.
so he's involved with like a lot of the kids instead of just one now. So this season of Manny is kind of like a la Firefest, where all these kids, they get sent to an amazing, cool, immersive summer camp. But as soon as they get there, it's really shitty. Like there's garbage everywhere. Like there's roaches. Like they don't have no Wi-Fi. Their cell phones get confiscated. Like it's
prison.
It's prison. Yeah. And then Manny was supposed to be camp counselor, but he's very childlike. He's late. He misses the bus. So he's on a mission. Like the first episode is like him on a mission to find the kids and get to the camp.
That's hilarious.
But the kids don't have cell phones. And all the dialogue that the kids have is like they're like adults.
Yeah.
Like they're it's like 10-year-olds like talking like, Dylan, like we're gonna break up because I don't have enough emotional dollars
Right.
to give to you.
Emotional dollars.
I think that's what's hilarious about the show is that all the kids are like between like 10 and 12, and they act more like adults than the actual adults.
And that's like the key demographic
Yeah.
also, like 10 to 12?
For that show?
Or I mean like up to maybe 14.
Yeah.
Younger kids.
I think many like younger kids, but it's also
like late elementary age maybe?
late elementary, early middle school, but I also think it has a lot of like adult humor in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I love those kind of shows.
which I mean, a lot of our shows are very much like teen girl drama, where like Manny is like I'm not saying because it's a show that I worked on, but I think it's like our funniest show. It's very comedic, and like this season, like I think it feels very much like a old school Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Which is like that's like my
Nickelodeon.
jam.
Yeah.
Like old school Nickelodeon is where it was at. Like
Yeah.
that's I don't know. So like I really like it was fun. Like you guys should check it out. Wednesdays 3 p.m. Bright YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, so new episodes every week?
What once a week. So
Okay.
once a week,
So it's
every
an-
Wednesdays,
yeah.
3 p.m. Go to the Brat YouTube channel, check it out. And they stay there. They stay there, so you can watch last week's is up there. You can watch
Right.
past seasons if you want to.
Wait, so season 4, episode 1 is up there.
Yeah.
So they're
You can watch
super.
Manny try to find the kids.
Yeah,
So they're very
I relate
accessible
to that.
episodes.
I relate to this show.
they're very
That's true.
accessible show
I do.
because you work with a lot of kids.
Yeah, I teach kids.
Yeah.
So like that just is so funny to me.
I think it's also funny because like for me, it's like I feel like I teach kids too because like I work with like
Oh yeah.
I work with like 8, 10-year-olds.
And technically, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're working with all these kids on set, you have to teach them while you're
You do.
filming the show. You
Yeah.
gotta hire a set teacher, what they call them. If school's not in session, you still have to hire one.
Yeah.
Just to like keep
Do you
them
guys have
occupied.
so I haven't worked with kid much in film. I've worked with them a lot in theater. Like I was a child wrangler for a Broadway show,
Oh, nice.
a couple Broadway shows, and kids are cool and whatnot. But I was wondering if when you're working with those kids, do you guys have you have a set teacher during the school
Yeah.
year? And then during not the school year, do you just have like a child wrangler or somebody
No.
who like moves the kids around?
Even during summer, you still need to have like a set teacher, but they don't need to be in school.
Okay.
I think that's the most challenging thing about working with children when school is in session is that you already have less hours to work with them because of like child labor laws. So like while a normal like set shoot day is like 12 hours for like adults, for kids I believe it's like 9 or 10. Okay. So you already have that against
still
you.
Pretty long.
That's still pretty long.
It's still pretty long, but then they need to be in school for 3 hours.
Right.
So that's even what like
that's
10 minus
hours.
3, that's 7 hours of the kids.
Out of that time
Yeah.
that they're allowed to be on there, they still have to be in school for wow.
Yeah. So it's like we have like we shoot a lot of like a high page count. Like we shoot roughly like 7 to 11 pages a day, which is pretty like
that's a lot, especially for kids.
It's a lot, and then you have like the time constraints with the kids.
Right. So these kids just go after it.
Yeah.
They're real go-getters.
They're go-getters. We have a pretty fast turnaround, which is like I actually really like because we filmed Manny at the end of April, beginning of May, and then it released in June.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
pretty good.
that's a good
turnaround.
page count for like CSI.
Yeah.
With grown adults.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, what I find that what I've learned like while working with children and like with Brat is that like being really efficient with your time. And like there are days where we're like down the wire. Like okay, we have like 2 scenes left with this kid. Like they're gonna pumpkin in like 15 minutes. Like you need to like get this because we can't call them back. You know, like and while it's stressful, it's still the moment where I feel like the most in the zone because like having to like creatively problem solve. I find that fun. Like I get like a rush from like when it's an easy chill day when everything's like going to plan and like everything's calm. Like yeah, it's nice because like we're gonna make our day and it's calm. But like I find it more fun when we're like under pressure to get it done.
Make it happen.
I feel that that experience of like having to be a creative problem solver with like 2 minutes left to spare. Having a high page count, I think that really is going to help me in the future. You know, when I want to do maybe more traditional television, like longer, even like working adult, just being efficient with time. I think being an AD really helped a lot with that too. And I didn't even realize it. I just like took the AD job without really knowing what it was, and just like
I mean, yeah, the AD is the guy who makes sure or lady who makes sure that everything is going as it should be going.
Yeah.
Like one scene to the other. Like we're gonna set up immediately after you call cut. You got to start setting up for the turnaround or for the next scene, and then you got to be thinking 3 scenes ahead in case you're running out of time, and you got to be thinking, okay, we're gonna have to cut this, or we're gonna have to do this 2 takes,
it's
and that's
rough.
it. You know,
it's rough being an AD because you're like the parent on set.
Yeah,
like on set,
and
you're
if
like
you
you
run
got
out of time, the producer is on you.
Yeah,
it's not the director.
It's on you if the day's not made. Like yeah, I mean, but I found all of that. What I've learned through being an AD and being able to work with other directors and seeing what works for them, what doesn't, like how what they're doing that works for the kids to get what like the scene that you need and what doesn't. I mean, I think one of the most valuable things that I learned is how to work with 2 cameras because that's going to help you like make your day,
especially in TV.
Yeah, and there's some directors that I've seen
like a 2-camera setup or just 2 different cameras that you're using.
Multicam,
not like studio where
they're kind of set.
Yeah, like not like that. Just like okay, like put the camera there, cross coverage that shit. Like we're gonna get done.
Okay,
like,
I see what you're saying here. Like kind of just knocking out both.
I mean, it's like a
once.
studio. It's just a little more relaxed.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
With smaller cameras that don't have wheels on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so real. What's one of the craziest problems you've had to solve on set for Manny, for example? Is there like a was there like a crazy day that was
Manny was
oh, shit, what happened?
Okay,
we gotta fix this now.
The first like week of Manny was so wild for different reasons. I'm not gonna go into like all of it, but like shooting on location is always gonna be we have a studio that we shoot most of like our like standard like bedroom like living rooms, but for Manny it was very specific. It's at a camp, so whenever you shoot on location, there's so many variables. Like okay, like you're counting on people to get there on time. You're counting on like the first day like our truck went to a different set, so like we didn't start shooting until 3 hours into our day, which like 3 hours, like
that's
who messed that one up.
3 hours plus the kids got to leave, plus like all the kids have different call times, so like it's not like we can put them all into school. It's like okay, like they I don't know who messed that one up, but someone messed it up.
Second
I remember
AD
like
maybe?
No.
Second AD.
I think it was probably like the PA. He just went to the wrong location.
Oh, it was a PA.
Or like,
okay.
I remember like there was a day where we were at the camp and across from the camp was like a ranch that had like all these wild animals. And I remember there was a day where like we had like goats randomly come to our set. We had a llama. We had like hogs. And we're just like, where are all these animals like coming from? Like, like I know we're at a camp, but it's not like it's like a isolated camp. It's not like there's residents. Like there's like houses down the street. Like it was wild.
There was just a llama on your set?
Yeah,
I'm thinking like
I
a
promise
llama.
you.
Like that's
No,
so.
And hogs?
That-
And nobody ordered these hogs.
No,
Yeah.
I'm telling you that it was just like there was a lot of things that happened, but it was I don't know. Like I've seen all the episodes. There's a total of 8. Only one of them has been released last week. Next week we got episode 2. But like, despite all these like setbacks, it was just a lot of fun to shoot. Like it was fun.
I mean, one of the great benefits of our jobs is that it's a very unorthodox job, and you
a very
get
fun
to be
job.
creative, and everything's different every day.
Yeah.
And I think that's really valuable when you're searching for something that's going to make you happy. If everything's different every single day and it's a new experience, I think that is something extremely valuable.
I'm
if you could
just-
find it.
It's just so stuck in my head. Somebody keeps yelling in the back of my mind. Hold for llama.
I know. I was thinking, hold for goats.
Hold for
Hold
goats.
for llama.
We've got
mean-
12 goats that we need to clear out of here before we get this shot.
All right, reset back to one. Everybody, the fucking goats are back.
We've had
Reset
that.
that.
back.
It's like a room tone. You're trying to get room tone, and
Yeah,
the
you're
goats
trying
in
to
the
get room
background.
But also, it's like you can't touch. Like we didn't know when we first saw all these animals appear that they came from the ranch next door. We're like, can
Oh.
we touch these? Does that hog have rabies? Like I don't like.
Oh
What do we
shit!
do? Get the kids away.
Oh,
from,
get the kids away from
get
the animals.
Kids
The
away
kids
from
are probably into it,
animals.
right?
Like yeah, they're like, oh, I want to go to.
Of
Like
course.
no, you can't touch this pig.
Kids love crazy shit.
What's
like
the
that.
biggest challenge working with kids versus working with grown adults?
Besides the time constraint, it depends. Because I've worked with 2 levels of kids. I've worked with kids that are between like 10 and like 12. And then I've worked with like the 13, 16-year-olds. So the teenagers.
Yeah. They're 2 very different groups of
They're
kids.
2 very different groups of kids. Because
Yeah.
the teenagers are more like embarrassed. They're more shy to let themselves be like.
It's a very,
Right,
it's a
right.
very,
They
it's a
don't-
very awkward age.
They don't want to
13,
look. They don't
16.
want to look dumb on camera. They want to be cool. Like if their character is
Yeah.
like the nerd,
I mean,
they
when I
don't want
was-
to be the nerd.
Yeah.
Even it's like you signed up to be the nerd, but you don't want to be the nerd.
That's so
like
funny.
that's the hard part
But
about
when
that.
you're like 11, your level of self-awareness
Yeah.
is at a place where you just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
When-
if you go back to my school photo when I'm 11, it's like, wow, kid, what
Yeah.
were you thinking? But
I
I,
really
loved
want to
it.
have an
I
insert
find
of
I
that
find
now.
the younger kids to be
Yeah.
less embarrassed. Like they're totally more down to be goofy and be silly. It is harder for them sometimes to like grasp their lines.
Right.
Yeah.
Deliver
But
the emotion,
Yeah.
you know?
So
Yeah.
sometimes the trick for that is like I just simply like have to do it for them. Like I have to show them how to do it so they can do it. It's just the time thing. Like if I
Right.
had time to like kind of
Lead
talk
them to it.
them, lead them,
Yeah.
get them there, I would prefer to do that.
Yeah.
But like when you don't have time, it's like okay, like you do this, yell it like this,
Right.
and sometimes like explaining. It'll just take longer to explain to them than to just show them.
Right.
And I mean, I think they're pleased the way it turned out because like I think it turned out pretty well.
I totally get that feeling because I as a director, when I'm directing something, I will never give an actor a line reading. I mean, if they're kids,
Yeah.
like I just directed 4 musicals with my students
Yeah.
this past year, and when you're at a time constraint,
Like again, like I don't want to do it that way, and I don't do it with like the adults that are on set that are like acting, but it's with the kids. It's like you gotta do it. I mean, I also feel like to be a child actor and to be good at it, you have to be smart and self-aware. Like I'm so impressed by these kids.
Yeah.
They go to work and they have to do school, and then like sometimes they have like paragraphs and paragraphs of lines,
Wow.
and it's like. That's what will. It's dependent. Like, okay, if this kid can deliver it, if they're good, they're like, it'll help our day. But if they're like struggling, like to get the line, the way the word is said, because it's like a tongue twister, it's like,
Or like that's the beat, like
Yeah.
that's the comedic beat that they keep
Yeah.
flubbing,
Yeah,
and they don't
yeah,
really
yeah.
get it.
and
Yeah.
sometimes I just have to accept it and move along, and then that's when I get to post with like music. Okay, like they didn't nail this joke, but I need to add some type of sound.
That'll
That'll
nail it
nail
for
it
them.
for them. Yeah.
smart. That's dope.
I think the challenge is like finding, if you can't figure it out then, just understanding of like, okay, like I have an idea of like how I can like fix it later in post or like in a different scene, but like just okay, we need to move on and like accepting it.
Do you like make notes? Do you like make notes in the moment, or do you have like your AD make notes just to be like, hey, just
I make notes.
Okay,
I make notes, and I'm also like currently I'm the only in-house director.
Okay, weird.
And so I have kind of like an advantage to like whenever I'm not shooting and I just got to go to the office, like the editors are like right across from me, so they'll just come up to me like, hey, do you want to like scope this episode out? I'm like, cool, yeah, and then we'll like sit down.
That's
like
dope.
you know, like I don't get paid extra to do that, but like because I'm already like salary.
Yeah.
But I like that. I've enjoyed being in post a lot. Like I love being in production, but like
Post production can be fun.
yeah, I mean it is fun, and especially with Manny, it was like the music was really important
Yeah.
because a lot of our other shows are very like dramatic teen angst and have like little poppy like rock songs, you know. Where like Manny's very much like hip hop bass, like wacky. Like Manny feels like a live action cartoon.
That's awesome.
That's what it feels like.
I love that.
It like you should check. I feel like you'd like it.
That's a good fucking pitch. Yeah.
What shows inspired you directly with your approach on Manny?
On Manny, this season,
Is Manny all you've directed?
Manny's all I've is the. No. I used to direct this show called Brat Chat, which was like our version of a late night TV show.
Okay, so it's like the Andy Cohen Real Housewives.
Yeah,
but for
like there was like
Brat
a
shows?
cold open sketch with an interview with like a live music performance.
Okay,
so that's what I did. That
and the
then,
kids are in the back drinking like Capri Suns.
Yeah,
I was wondering what he was going to say there.
Drinking Capri Sun, Sunny D.
I was like, what do kids drink? Actually, I haven't had a regular drink in a long time.
I did that show, and like that show helped me kind of like that was very much like it felt like a live sketch show because like we would have to change things on the day, like talent wouldn't show up, so like okay, like this is the set I have, these are the people I have, like all right, let's shoot something. It was very running gun,
and it was talk
way.
show, so it was very it was methodical every day.
Yeah.
Like you just had to plug in the pieces.
Exactly. Cool. So talk show. Then after that, I did a couple of music videos, a couple like standalone like short pieces
For Brat?
For Brat.
Okay.
And then after that, I got Manny, which was my first show. And then I recently just wrapped my first feature for Brat.
Okay.
Like 2 days ago. So I mean, I don't know what I'm going to work on next, but hopefully some more. I would really love a brand new show.
It's
like
going to be
season
Bratty.
one.
Wait, like a feature like Brat is going to have like a feature film?
Yeah, it's
Putting it
our
on YouTube?
putting it
Like
on
a
YouTube.
Disney Channel original movie.
Yeah, I would compare it to that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
yeah,
I
you
would
nailed that.
I would compare it to like it's like our third feature.
Okay.
It's our summer movie. I can't really say too much about it because like not a lot of
Yeah, don't give it
out
away.
there.
Yeah, that's all right.
But
NDA,
it's cool.
NDA.
What I like about a cool thing about Brat is that all our shows are in the same world, kind of like a Marvel universe, like the Brat,
that
the
is-
Brattyverse.
the Brativerse.
Brativerse. I actually like
so
that.
it's like we have different schools. We got Attaway, we got Millwood, we have Crown Lake, which is like our newer one that we started to develop. But like, say you have like Rhyme from Chicken Girls can be in Total Eclipse, which is set in Millwood, because they all like.
So there's a
coexist with each
lot
other.
of lines in the show that are like, oh, he goes to a different school. You don't know.
Are there any like crossover episodes?
Yeah,
or-
no. They're,
So it's like a
they're-
school
They're
district.
cameos. They're
Yeah.
cameos.
Okay,
I wouldn't
gotcha.
say crossover episodes.
Yeah.
I would say
Not like
crossover
the
movies.
cast, yeah.
Okay, so
Crossover movies. Yeah.
really?
So
Like-
it's like
Like the movie I just worked on had like kids from all the different shows.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
okay, yeah, because school is out. They're
Yeah.
not all.
Yeah.
It's summertime, so they're all going to the same summer camp.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Summer
so
camp,
funny.
summer job.
So you're basically constructing a school district.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
A fictional school.
I mean, you
district.
have like your normal USA school, then you have like your poor school, and then you have like your like boarding school, which is like
Okay.
Crown Lake.
Crown
So
Lake.
it's-
Yeah, Crown Lake sounds like a boarding school for
Yeah.
sure.
Damn, I really feel like I'm gonna be watching like Brat like late at night. You know,
Yo,
how you
like-
up like binging shit. I'm gonna be up
It's-
binging Brat like
It's
oh my
binge
God.
worthy though. I promise you, it's binge worthy. And I'm like,
Freaking out over middle school
Listen,
kids and
I was
shit.
like, oh my
here's
god,
the thing
she
though,
lost
like
her cell
I
phone.
never thought that I would like coming to Hollywood be like, okay, I'm gonna make movies. I'm like working TV. Never thought that like, oh, I'm gonna work at like a kids YA space. Never
Yeah.
thought about it. But like I truly like enjoy it. It's like the most fun. Like I love the kids I work with, and also like it's fun. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm not working with like adults who are like stressed out. Like maybe like my producers or like the AD, like maybe they're stressing out, but like
AD's stressed out for sure.
AD stressed out for sure. But like for me as a director, like one of the things that I consider like the most important is making sure that everyone on set is chill. Like if my producer's like stressing out, like I try to
That's very true.
keep the kids, even my crew, away from that, because like if the crew's like stressed out, then their energy is going to go on the kids, and the kids are going to feel really pressured, and they're not going to perform well.
So you gotta show up with energy and a good attitude, because everything else is going to waterfall off of you and affect everybody else's crew or everybody else's mood.
Kids are very very attuned to energy like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you come in a little funky, they go.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, if I come in and I'm like yelling at them, I never yell at them, but if I were to come in and just be like, you're doing it wrong, you need to do that, like
that's not how to talk to kids. You wouldn't be able to get what you want out of them because they wouldn't want to give it to you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they don't have to.
And even if they could, even if they did after you've done that, it's like you kind of ruined what would have been magical about it.
Yeah.
Had you just
found
a better way to do
and
it.
And one of the things is like because I worked with Brad for so long, I've seen a lot of these kids grow. Like I've seen them go through like 12 to like 13 or 14, I've seen them grow, and it's I never had younger siblings. So like being able to see that is like, like that's, I truly feel like connected with these kids, like their family.
But you have older siblings?
I have 2 older stepsisters.
Yeah, same.
Oh, word.
Not stepsisters, but older.
You have 2 older. You're the youngest? I never would have guessed that.
A little baby.
Yeah,
Anyway, let's take a step back. Speaking of babies, when we were babies, what movies or TV shows did you watch that you have like applied to your style of directing on this show?
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Boy Meets World.
Sure.
Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold. Okay. On Nickelodeon.
Yeah, old school Nick.
Old school Nick.
Old school Nick.
But well, that's not Saved by the Bell. What channel was Saved by the Bell on?
Saved by the Bell?
Because I would always watch it before school, but that
Nick
was
at Night. Or
Nick at Night.
Was Nick at Night still running at 8 a.m. in the morning?
No.
They had already started like their day.
And then
I remember
Nick
that.
At
I
Night,
remember
Nick at
watching.
Night is still like
Boy Meets World was on Disney,
5 or 6.
Yeah,
it was on Disney at like late in the evening. But then I remember they started putting it on like during like regular.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because they used to show Boy Meets World on Disney Channel at like 3:00, something like that. Yeah. Like it was like that, and Smart Guy was on ABC.
Smart Guy.
I was about to say Smart Guy.
I love that fucking show. That's dope.
Smart Guy, Sister.
Smart Guy, Sister. They put Sister on Disney for a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow, you were loyal to the Nick brand. Are you gonna watch
edgy.
that? Are you gonna watch the new All That?
Maybe, I don't know. Like
I would like to. Do you think it's
first
going to be as
of all,
impactful?
I don't have cable anymore because I watch all my things. I stream it or I watch it on YouTube. So I don't have cable. So if they have any clips on YouTube, I do have the Fire Stick, but I only use the Fire Stick to watch movies.
Wait, you can watch TV with the Fire Stick, right?
You can.
Yeah.
You can.
Okay.
You can.
But she doesn't.
But you don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Like
All That was good. I mean, I really hope this new All That is all that in a bag of chips.
I hope it works out.
Dude, Kenan Thompson went to my high school. I fucking love that dude. Yeah, he's
the
a really
OG.
nice guy. He came to see my senior year of high school.
That man is really beloved.
Yeah, he's dope. I directed a play my senior year of high school called The Lottery, which was a fucking weird play.
With Bow Wow?
No. No, The Lottery is like it's this super old play or a story or whatever about like these people that I think it's actually a movie. I know it's a movie too. But
Bow Wow.
The movie has Bow Wow?
They made a lottery.
No, there's like a really old one. Okay. I don't know if they made a new lottery, but like the lottery is like about these people that live in like this town in the middle of nowhere. And once a year for the harvest, they'll draw from the lottery. Whoever draws the black dot gets stoned to death out in the fields so that their blood can make the cops go rich. That's fact.
Ooh.
This crazy part is about that story is like that story is based on real shit in America that was happening. Like
people are wild.
Like, not like probably in our grandparents' lifetimes. And supposedly the like theory is that like it still happens in some towns. Like, you can't get to like those weird Mormon towns, shit like that. Yeah. But that
sounds like Midsummer.
That play was super weird, but I just thought it was super funny that like of all the comedic stuff I directed and worked on, like that's the one that Kenan Thompson came and saw.
Oh my god!
It's the one I had the freshmen just stoning each other to death in the middle of the stage. And the funniest part is I went out. So afterwards, the director, my director, who's my teacher, he was like, "Hey, come outside. I want someone I want you to meet," because obviously no one knew Keenan was there. So I go outside. I didn't know Keenan was there, and he's like, "I want you to meet my homie," and because they went to school together, that school. Dude pulls up in an all black Escalade, tinted windows. He rolls down the passenger
What year
side.
was this? Do you
This
remember?
was like 2009.
Okay, so he was
Early
on SNL
2009.
at this point.
Oh, he was in
Yeah.
SNL
Yeah.
by that point. Yeah, it was like 2008, 2009. But he pulls up in this all black Escalade and rolls down his passenger seat window, and this huge waft of like weed smoke, like How High style, like just like fucking fanned out and like smacked us in the face. And there's like the first thing I saw before I even saw Keenan was the Popeyes in his passenger seat. I guess the, like, smoke, the smoke hadn't cleared enough on his side yet, so I saw like I saw the Popeyes, and then I saw him. I was like, "Word!"
And this is
Keenan
right after the
Thompson.
play.
This is right, like the play is ending inside. My director called me out like while the play is about to end. He's like, "I want you," because we don't want the audience to
He
like,
smoked
bug him
that
and
thing
Yeah.
up real quick.
Yo, he probably left the play intermission. And
I'm just happy you had Popeyes and not KFC.
You know what? It was Atlanta Dog. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't have Chick-fil-A. I guess it was too late at night. But yeah,
It was closed.
it was close.
Was it a Sunday?
No, it might have been a Sunday. I don't know. I don't remember what day of the week it was. I drink
Anyway.
a lot, but yeah. So all of that, I think that's dope. I can't wait to see it. They got that Good Burger pop up, by the way. I'm about to go hit.
Oh, they do?
You hear
What?
about that
Where?
shit, right? You
No.
heard about
I
that
heard
shit?
about it. I've seen pictures of it.
Is it here in LA?
It's here in LA. It's a Good Burger pop up.
Okay, so I haven't been to the
Remember
Gotta get
Saved by
tickets
I
right
haven't
now.
I haven't
Burger
been to the
movie?
Huh?
The Good Burger movie?
Yeah, from the Good Burger movie.
So
yeah.
it's called Good Burger. But
called-
is it like Saved by the Max?
Ish.
Ish.
It's called
a
wait,
lot
okay,
like,
so there's
I
a
regret not going to that.
for all those that don't live in LA, there's also a Saved by the Bell pop-up restaurant somewhere in West Hollywood. Called,
Yeah.
Is it just called The Max or is it called Saved by the Max?
I think it's called Saved by the Max. Is
And
it
it's
still
like-
up?
Yeah, I think it's like
I wanna
permanent
go.
at this
Really?
point because
I need
it's
to
like
go.
it's like $40 per person to like come in.
Yeah.
And it's like a prefix menu, so like you don't pay for, you just pay to get in there, and then everything is just like
Yo,
whatever
that's
they
dope.
give you.
Good Burger is actually $30 per person.
Is it?
Yes.
No way. Where is this
I'm about to
place?
get tickets
$3?
right now,
Alright,
bro.
let's
30,
go.
30, not 30.
30? Okay, well, I mean that's still it's
I
better
mean,
than
it's
40.
the same thing. It's better than 40, but
Welcome
like
to
it's the
Good
same thing. Like
Burger Home.
you get an entree. You know what I mean? Like you just pick from kind of the.
Do you know where it is? Is it open yet?
It actually hasn't opened yet,
Ooh,
but they've already started selling tickets, and days are selling out
Right.
fast.
Yeah,
We should go.
I remember the
Like,
Max
we
sold
gotta
out
get
pretty
there soon.
quickly.
Yeah, because
I'll
like
go.
And
this
then
Good Burger
they
pop-up
just
is
announced
dope.
that like, hey, we're just gonna keep it here.
They just announced also that they're gonna have a vegan Good Burger. So,
I
you
don't
know,
An impossible
I
good
an impossible
burger.
good
An
burger.
impossibly good burger.
An impossibly good burger. Yes, that's what.
I can't. I'm not for the vegan life.
No, dude,
Oh, let's talk about this. Let's talk about your diet.
I want the extra.
You don't like the vegan life? What do you think
No,
about
I want,
vegans?
I want the
I don't-
extra juicy Mondo burger.
Oh, fucking
Oh.
right, I'm getting that. Oh, isn't Mondo the one across the street? Oh,
Yeah, he's
That's the competitor.
competitor.
The one
That's,
that's
that's filled with GMOs.
yeah, that's the one that Sinbad is the manager at.
Yeah. You know what's so funny? I like when I resaw that movie like maybe 2 years ago or like 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Watching it as an adult, you see stuff differently, and I was like, oh,
I know
shit.
that's so funny.
I was like, oh, these are so different. Like,
Yeah.
Good Burger is obviously where all the people who work there smoke weed, and that's why they're doing just so shitty at their jobs. So, Kel's been saying the same thing for an hour.
Yeah, Kel is on another
Kel's
planet.
fucking stoned, dude.
Welcome
Keenan and
to
Kel are
Good
high,
Burger.
dude.
Good
But then
Burger.
Mondo Burger dudes are like coked the fuck out. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, bro, Mondo Burger. I'm like, whoa, you guys are fucking.
They like inject their burgers with some sort of
GMOs,
hormone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make them get all, and then they start exploding. Oh
Oh,
god.
yeah. Mondo Burgers are good. Anyways,
And,
Good
yeah, we
Burger.
gotta look up where that Good Burger pop up is. And,
Yeah, go
I need to
on
hit it up.
Instagram,
I'll
Good Burger pop up.
Can we go together?
Yeah, let's go. We'll get
Dude, I'm
tickets.
super down for all of us.
Let's
to
do
go.
it.
Yeah.
So
How many more time? We give it?
we have 12 minutes, so we can keep talking for a little bit. Let's
down.
keep talking. Let's go back to Nickelodeon. So
I love it.
I mean, Rugrats is one of those shows that you go back and rewatch it, and you're like, wow, there's a lot of adult humor in this.
What's this from?
Oh yeah, that's
This is Chucky's like Saturn.
Oh, that's right. I was like, that's so. It looks so
Ginny
familiar.
has a pop socket. on the
Wait,
back
show
of
the
her
camera
phone.
again. I'm gonna put it up on the
right
thing
there. You
right
see that
there.
right there?
That's amazing.
It's a pop socket on the back of her phone that has it's like the planet that's on the Chucky character from Rugrats'
Yeah.
shirt.
I love it. I love it.
But did you watch shows like Wild and Crazy Kids? Like, how far back in Nickelodeon do you go? Because
Amanda
Wild and Crazy
Bynes
Kids
show,
is like
Amanda
real
Bynes show.
early 90s. And then Hey Arnold was like 90s.
I love Hey Arnold. I didn't really watch Wild and Crazy Kids, but I remember the Amanda Bynes show. I thought that was funny.
What about Our Real Monsters?
Our Real Monsters.
Okay, I liked All Real Monsters, but it did it
Oh, here comes the butt.
it like grossed me out a little bit.
I think that's
I
what
was like-
it was a boys show.
That was the point. I'm just like, whatever. There's other ones that are
I
better.
don't know if it was exactly a boys show.
And then there's-
there were people. There were
yeah.
a lot of
Yeah,
girls.
you
I mean,
can't-
everybody
you
watched
can't
it.
see
It was
Also because
Nickelodeon.
like that monster girl that was
The
like
sick- she
the
looked
one
like
that was,
Candy
that was
Cane?
black and white. Like
Yeah,
that
she
one.
was Candy Cane.
I thought a lot of girls were into her. They were like, I like her style.
She's got a lot of attitude.
She had a lot of attitude. She had on fancy
No,
ass
the
shoes
guy
and
with the
shit.
eyeballs.
And then
Whoa.
there's
Yeah.
the live action shows like there's Cousin Skeeter.
Cousin
Cousin Skeeter. I love Cousin Skeeter.
That shit was
The puppet.
amazing.
Yeah, and then
Megan
Clarissa.
Good was in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Clarissa explains it all. Yeah, I love
Clarissa
that.
Explains
woman.
It All reminds me a lot of Brat content, sort of.
Ish,
It's,
yeah.
it's the bright colors, the pastels, super 90s ish.
It's. I think '90s is kind of like the thing with Brad is that we do things that like are trending. Like, I don't say this to like toot our horn, but like all the kids that like are in our shows, like they want to be on our shows. Like we're like the new cool like platform in town.
That's
like,
cool.
I like to consider us like a variation of CW meets Disney Channel meets MTV.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can see that.
But like MTV in its prime.
Yeah.
you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And
MTV has gotten weird.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I was
gotten
looking
weird.
at it by
like-
accident like the first time recently, and I was like, oh shit.
Like what's
The
going
fuck
on?
is this?
Yeah. But I think it's nice, like feeling like that. And I think right now what's trending is like '90s. So
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
man,
it's because
90s is
people like
trending
us
so
are
hard.
in higher up positions
Right,
now, and we
right.
want to bring that kind
Yeah.
of that aesthetic back, like the bright colors,
Yeah.
the squiggly designs, and the polka dots. And
Yeah.
It
But
feels
it's like our
gloomy.
generation also is like it's
really loud.
It's the largest demographic of voters and consumers right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like of course everything that we want is what's going to have to be what's
Yeah,
popular.
yeah.
I'm thrilled, to be honest.
I love it.
I love that '90s aesthetic.
I love it.
Like the Max restaurant, that whole color scheme and those designs reminds me a lot
Yeah.
of like what Brad.
Yeah.
All like
Yeah.
the squiggly.
I wanna check
It's
that
called a
shit out.
Memphis design.
Memphis.
Memphis, so all the squiggly lines,
Okay.
triangles.
Oh
and
yeah,
like
yeah, I
that.
love it.
Where did you
Memphis.
learn that? Is that something you just learned on set, or did?
I learned it on set because I did a music video that was like 90s, 80s inspired.
Yeah.
And on the back of the set, I was like, I want this Saved by the Bell design in the back. And so like I Googled it and like, oh, Memphis. So like I got a couple samples and I like told our art
Interesting.
department like, hey, this is what I want, and they popped it up there.
That's dope.
Cool.
Word. Oh man, I had a question and then my brain.
Yeah, we were talking about Nickelodeon, and Clarissa Explains It All.
That's what I was going to ask.
Good
I was
Burger,
like-
all that.
I was gonna ask. So I mean, you love Nickelodeon. I was more of a Cartoon Network dude.
Yeah.
Did you ever get into any shows on Cartoon Network? Was any of those?
Ed and Eddie.
Ed and Eddie was the shit.
Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls. I mean, this is all the same.
I was like, yo, you know what? I was like, I want to have daughters just so I can have them watch Powerpuff Girls.
The thing
They
with
feel
cartoon-
like-
They're making new episodes right now, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
I started
Yeah.
rewatching it on Hulu. But the thing about Cartoon Network is that it's too like, it's very much on the line of like, okay, like is this
okay for kids?
okay for kids? Yeah.
But I mean, we
They
were
really
watching
are
it.
like
when
But
we
I'm
were
not like
kids.
I'm not against it. Yeah, but also when we were younger, I feel like things were more risque. Like
Yeah.
Britney Spears,
I mean, Friends was
Britney
not
Spe-
appropriate for us. But
Britney Spears
we were
hit
all
me
watching
baby
Friends.
one more time.
It's the same thing.
Britney Spears hit me baby one more time. I think what she was 17, 18. Like that type of music video would probably not be like okay in our day right now.
For kids, you mean?
for someone like her.
I
like-
mean, not for
it's
kids,
like
but I mean,
we
what are
say
you gonna
that
do?
but like realistically, like there are Cardi B's out there now. Well, also like the game has just changed. Like music has changed. a
Cardi
lot
B's
since
like
then.
20, what, 6,
Oh,
27?
I see what you're saying. Like that,
Like-
that would not be okay because of her age,
Right,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely, yeah. Especially in the Me Too era. No, hell no.
I can see that.
Especially after that R. Kelly shit, they'd be like, no.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that like we don't currently have that, but like we wouldn't have Britney Spears who's like 17, 18 when that video, like music video came out. You wouldn't have that with like a 17, 18-year-old currently.
Yeah.
At least I don't believe we would. At least I don't think it would be like.
No, definitely not. And I think
Yeah.
a bunch of the younger singers that are doing stuff like like you think about like Selena Gomez and stuff like that. They're all coming from like Disney Channel.
Yeah. I
So-
mean, it's
and
safer
Disney,
for
and Disney won't let you do that kind of shit.
I think it's safer for like younger talent to keep it as PG 13 as long as you can, because like it gives you more room for like brand deals or something, you know.
Yeah.
Like Adidas doesn't want someone who's like.
Would you be able to
completely
work
trash
with Disney?
me?
Yeah, because Disney got their issues and shit. They'd be like,
I don't think I want to. I mean, like here's the thing.
I mean,
if
you
Disney
could
give me a
definitely
Disney
work.
Marvel movie, yeah,
yeah, a
Like-
Disney Mario movie.
yeah. But do I want to like work for a Disney Channel? I don't want to work at Disney Channel because I feel like Brat's cooler than Disney Channel.
Oh,
Like I don't like. I think
It's
Brat,
not, it's not the same network anymore. That's
it's-
true.
It
it's
is
not the same,
network,
and
nah.
like
There's no more Lizzie McGuire's. There's no more Even
yeah.
Stevenses.
Man, fucking Even Stevens.
even
dude.
Steven,
That
Lizzie
was my
McGuire, this-
fucking shit,
yeah.
dude. I'm still a Shia LaBeouf fan because of Even Stevens.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude! I go
he's
back.
hilarious.
You could watch
And
those
Shia's
Even
done some
Stevens
crazy shit
episodes,
since
and they're
then.
still funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still
I would-
That guy's a clown.
I would consider like our Manny is kind of like even Steven.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like
I know
his
I'm gonna love this show,
character
Manny.
is like that.
I know I'm gonna love this show.
Okay, so
I'm about to show you once we stop rolling or
we're,
whatever.
we're
I'm about to
running.
show you.
Yeah,
Speaking
I'm
of
gonna
that,
see it.
I mean, we're running out of time anyway. So let's ask you one final question.
Yes.
If you had unlimited resources, what would you want to make? What's the show that you would want to make without giving away all the details?
Yeah.
Can I say two things?
Sure, whatever.
So one, I really love Back to the Future. So I like the adventure, time travel, action,
Mm-hmm.
something like
Always
that.
been a favorite of mine,
Yeah.
Something that I mean, I'm gonna.
and it's
throw-
also got that similar aesthetic.
yeah.
When
Yeah.
he goes back into when he actually goes to the future,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
got the hoverboard and all the
Yeah.
colors are crazy.
that
Yeah.
like something that has like a lot of like adventure. Like I want the grand feeling of like that. I mean, there's a show that I want to pitch, and it's basically a '90s musical, like a high school musical
Oh.
with the '90s. Like think about Clueless as a musical.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's dope. I can dig it.
Not as
Well
a show,
said.
but as like a movie.
As a movie,
Like
okay.
you know,
yeah,
like make it like a high school musical, 1, 2, 3, a '90s musical.
okay.
Because I
dig
feel like
that.
that's what's trending right now, and like
Right.
I think it. Like think about all like the 10 Things I Hate About You, She's All That. Like, I'd Never Been Kissed is like early 2000s, but I still put it in that like teen rom com
it's
category.
in there. It's in there.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
feel
think
that.
I think that's what we haven't had in a while, just like a teen rom com.
I would watch it.
Yeah.
I would definitely watch the action adventure time travel.
Yeah, that's happening.
Yeah,
I want to
like that's
be
right up my alley.
I want to play a weird cop.
The weird
future.
future.
The weird cop from the future.
I don't
You-
know why it's cop. I've never wanted to play a cop in my life, but the word that came out of my mouth just
Was
now
cop.
was police officer.
I feel like I would want to be like one of the diner workers in the future.
Sign me up as the Biff. I'll be the Biff.
You'd be the Biff.
I could be a good Biff.
Yeah.
You know, you
I
look
just
like
start
that.
eating whatever I want.
There you go.
Just blow up.
Can you do that? Can you put on like a lot of weight?
I can try. Might
Dude,
not
let's
work.
hit Good Burger and let's do it.
We're gonna have to make several trips to Good Burger.
Yeah, several trips.
Good
I'm
Burger,
and if the
Max.
Mondo Burger's
It's
on
only
the menu,
$30.
if the Mondo Burger's on the menu, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
I have no choice.
You got what was I gonna say? You got any big summer plans before we get out of here?
No.
You're just on hiatus,
Actually,
feeling
no.
it out.
Summer
No, I'm
solstice.
not. I'm gonna go to Mexico. That's gonna be my big summer plan.
Hey.
Going on vacation with my family.
Have you been before?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
my dad's from there, so I've been
Right.
there a couple times. But I'm gonna. We're all just going on a big family vacation. That's what I'm gonna do.
Sounds like a great time.
That's
is,
awesome.
is there anything you want to plug before we go?
Oh, please do.
Where can,
Tell
where
me.
can people
Yeah.
follow you? Where can they find Brat? Where can they find everything you've ever done?
All the cool things.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, you can follow me on Instagram at like Jenny Dominguez. But if you want to watch Manny, it
That's
comes out.
That's short for Dominguez, by the way.
Yeah.
Dominguez, in case
Dominguez.
you're wondering how it's spelled.
Gotcha. We'll put it on the. Oh wait, no, spell it again.
Yeah, spell it again.
It's at JENNYDOMINGZ.
Got you.
Jenny
Okay.
Dominguez. But if you guys want to watch Manny and catch up like on any other shows on Brat, just go to their YouTube.
Okay.
Manny airs every Wednesday at 3 p.m.
Copy.
So go check it out. It's only one episode in of season 4.
Oh
You
yeah,
can just
and you
catch
said
up
all
with it.
Brat content lives on that
Yeah.
network in perpetuity, so you can check out everything else they've ever done. So-
Yeah,
So
Cool.
just go to YouTube and type in
Brat. It'll be the first thing that pops up.
Oh.
Oh, well, you can follow me on Instagram at tmcd
Yeah, TV.
with 2 underscores, and that's it. And listen to the show, please.
Yeah, listen to this show. And I'm Will Toussaint. You can follow me at Funk in Ya Face.
Funk in your face.
Funk in Your Face. That's Instagram. Twitter, don't worry about it.
I'm not
really
You'll never
typing.
find me on Twitter. It's a secret.
I never really say anything on there. I mostly just listen to what other people say.
Yeah, I lurk.
I'm more of a visual.
Big lurker.
I need a picture.
I'm more of a bird watcher than a tweeter. But you can watch old episodes of The Mix and Serve on YouTube. Watch this show. Watch Fight Dub. We're about to drop a new episode that I have been putting off editing because I'm fucking tired.
Everything on the Skitbags Network for sure.
Everything
Check it all out.
Skitbags, yeah.
Listen to the show.
Skitbags
Watch The Mix and Serve. Watch Brat. Follow Jenny on Instagram. She's great.
Yeah.
Skitbags. We're out of here.
Skitbags Radio. I
We
want
out.
to do one of them. I want to do wait. Let me do this voice real quick.
Okay, do it.
All right. And that's it for Skitbags Radio.
Perfect.
Radio.
100%.
Perfect.
Skitbags Radio.